A rotating disk electrode can be used for all hydrodynamic electrochemical experiments. The flow can quickly achieve conditions in which the steady-state current is controlled by the solution flow rather than diffusion. This is in contrast to unsteered experiments where the steady-state current is limited by the diffusion of the species in solution. The Metrohm Autolab rotating disk electrode with a low noise mercury contact facilitates a smooth current signal. The main specifications of the Metrohm rotating disk electrode are the motor speed range from 100 rpm to 10,000 rpm. The acceleration and deceleration is in 4000 rpm per second. The maximum current goes up to 500 milliamp, and the electronic contact is by a sealed mercury pool. This video will show you how to set up, use and care for your Autolab RDE.
The standard RDE2 comes in two boxes, one containing the motor controller and the other containing the rotator. The rotator has a protective Teflon shaft to protect the axle from bending. The two-way electrode cable is for the working electrode and the ground connection. With this cable you connect the working electrode, the sense banana plug and the green ground cable coming from the potentiostat. And the next box is for the 3mm platinum electrode tip. In the second box you will find the motor controller unit, this one here, and the power cable and the BNC cable to remotely control the rotator. On the front of the motor controller there's a manual control button for adjusting the rotation speed. On the back of the motor controller there are inputs for the rotator and also for the BNC cable to control remotely the rotation speed. Connect the rotator cable of the RDE to the motor position on the back panel of the motor controller. To control the rotation speed through the software remotely, press the control mode button on the back panel of the motor controller. Connect the BNC cable coming from the analog output to the remote input on the back panel of the motor controller. We are now going to attach the platinum electrode tip to the axle of the rotator. Keep the axle fixed in place by pressing the axle blocking button. This is the axle blocking button. During rotation of the axle, the block button will click in position. So we hold it and we turn the axle until we hear a click. Now the axle is fixed, then gently screw on the electrode tip. The electrode tip should be finger tight and don't use any wrenches or other tools to tighten the electrode tip. There should be a small gap, shown here, between the electrode tip and the rotator. I remind you not to use any tools to tighten the electrode tip. Insert the rotator in the lid of the electrochemical cell. The position of the rotator is vertical, so use the middle hole of the lid. Connect the two-way electrode cable to the rotator. Connect the working electrode and ground cable from the potentiostat to the two-way electrode cable of the rotating disk electrode. The red female banana plug is used for the working electrode and the sense electrode, and the green female banana connection is for the ground connection of the potentiostat. The reference electrode and the counter electrode are already connected. The rotation speed can be set manually with the switch on the front panel of the motor controller. The rotation speed can be adjusted with this button here. I will switch off the manual control because in this experiment we are using the analog output of the Autolab PG-stat to control the rotation speed of the rotator through software. When you're operating the rotator using the remote feature, an orange light will appear in the front of the motor controller.
Welcome to the INTELLO software. First we're going to create a work system. At the moment we have VIONIC available, 0005. And when I double click on this one, we can add an additional device. There are known devices, and we can add devices with this plus button. In the device category, we can select accessories, and what kind of device type we have. We have an Autolab Rotating Disk Electrode or an Autolab Rotating Cylinder Electrode. At the moment I have a Rotating Disk Electrode and I'm giving the name RDE1. From the Autolab accessories we can drag and drop this RDE1 into the work system of VIONIC. So we can drag and drop it, then the analog out number 1 becomes available, and there we can add the RDE1. So now we can control the rotation speed from the INTELLO software, sending the signal from the analog out to the remote input of the motor controller of the rotating disk electrode. The Metrohm Autolab YouTube channel has a large number of how-to videos.
Always disconnect the motor control unit from the electrical power source before cleaning. Never use excessive amounts of water as it may damage the instrument. We rinse the electrode with demineralized water. Then we dry it with paper cloth. Always rinse the axle of the RDE2 with demineralized water and dry the axle with a paper towel. Please refer to the user manual for more detailed information about how to clean and store your RDE.